So welcome back. We're editing a composite portrait that I did with some of my modeling apprentices. It's a cool technique that I love to do because it's a little more difficult. It's a little more unique. It's kind of compelling. It's not something you see all the time on social media. Helps you stand apart. So just to review, some things you need for editing are a computer. Photoshop and Lightroom is what I'm using. There's other software, but I'm using Photoshop and Lightroom because I like them. And then super helpful is a graphics tablet. I've got the little $80 Wacom black photography thing. Oh my gosh, it is so paid for itself. So without further ado, we're going to turn around and I'm going to show you how to edit the composite portraits that I like to create. So here we go. Oh, gross. That's dark. Oh, remember that lamp that was growing out of my head? This is why. So you have light at this angle. Anyways, so we're going to start. I've already imported all my stuff into Lightroom, and I've gone through and I've kind of selected I've culled out the shots I don't like, and now I'm going to pull in the shots that I kind of do like. And you may notice that these have already been. The other thing that you want to do is this was at kind of golden hour, and the light was changing pretty rapidly. And so I've gone through and I've also equalized kind of the exposure on them. And that's another reason why it's important to have, I told you I would get to it and I forgot, almost forgot. You want to have lighting you have control over so that it's easier to normalize the exposure, because you don't want dark parts and light parts to make it obvious that this was more than one exposure. So there's our 3. I'm just going to use the 3. And we're going to go ahead and edit it in. So what we've done so far, we've imported to Lightroom. We've selected the shots we want. We've normalized the exposure more or less between them. Now we're going to right click them. We're going to select the 3. What you do is you just hit Command or Control. If you're a lame Mac user, hit Command. If you use real computers, hit Control. And select the ones you want. You can have 3, you can have 10, you can have 2. You're going to right click it. And you're going to go to Edit In. You're going to say Open as Layers in Photoshop. And first thing you're going to do is you're going to select all 3 layers. I just hit Shift, or select the first one, hit Shift, select the last one. That'll select all of them for you. And then I'm going to go to Edit. And I'm going to auto align layers. And then auto works 9 times out of 10. And what you'll notice here is that we've got stuff in the foreground, stuff in the background that we don't want. And then you've got, oh, it's pretty clean. And look, she's blocking Tyler's car, which is great because we don't want Tyler's car. We want Bailey's car. And then you've got here, which again, you've got the light off frame. So, and what you want to do is you want to go through each of these and pick which parts of which image you like the best. And which do you want to be your base image? I did something I shouldn't have done. I shot them in different ISOs. Don't do that. But you can't adjust your aperture because that'll change the way things are in focus. You can't adjust, and you can only adjust your shutter speed so far. So, it is what it is. Make do with what you can. and we'll fudge around it here in a little bit. I think, and see, this is in the middle of I like this windshield better, except for this. So if we can content aware fill this out, then we'll use this shot. If we can't, then we won't. So we'll put this in kind of order of importance. What we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to create a mask with this little button right here. Trying to get the pop-up to, a layer mask. And the easiest thing to do, now with a layer mask, you're going to be white stuff in the mask you can see, black stuff you can't see. And it just tells Photoshop which parts of the layer to show and which parts of the layer to not show. And that's a basic way to explain it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with this gradient right here. And we're just going to create a gradient because wrong direction. Because an important thing, because one of the most important things to think about with this is that you want your changes, your transitions from layer to layer to be as gradual as you can make them. You don't want things to be sudden because the eye will pick up on that. And so you're going to do this in kind of two basic steps. You're going to do like your big gross, not gross as in disgusting, but gross as in your big picture stuff first. And then you're going to zoom in and do your little minute adjustments to make everything look right. We're going to create a layer here, layer mask here, and we're going to go to brush, B for brush. Love the hotkeys in Photoshop. So now we're going to brush away the parts of this picture. Actually, we could use another gradient. Swap those. There we go. And then we can brush that away. Whew. All right, so we've got those all blended together and we've got the edges cropped off. Things look pretty smooth. Now we're going to just hit Control S or Command S if you use a schmack. And it'll save it and bring it straight over into Lightroom for you, which is just so convenient. And from Lightroom, we will go ahead and develop it in the Develop module. So like, crush the blacks a little bit, bring up the whites, just until we get a little bit of peaking. Bring down the highlights because I like to get the cloud details. Bring up the shadows. I like things with lots of contrast and lots of color. And then we're gonna make sure we get rid of chromatic aberration. A little bit of a vignette to make it look a little more natural, single shot sort of thing. And I think I like it. So there we go. And then you can just export from there. And that's your, that's how to do a composite. So with that said, move this light over here, put this light down so that it's not growing out of my head. And thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for caring about what I think and how I do things. I hope it's added to you some way, somehow. That's all I ever want to do. Please subscribe if I have. If I haven't, that's fine. Maybe I will in the future. Ring that bell so that you can see my stuff. Check me out. Links below. Got any questions? Leave a comment. Did I leave a step out? Let me know. And we'll have a conversation down below. Maybe share a link to your favorite composite images. Who knows? Anyways, God bless you. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.